The idea that it is never too late to become what you might have been speaks directly to the limitless potential of human transformation, regardless of age or circumstance. Society often imposes an invisible timeline on achievement and success, suggesting that certain milestones must be reached by specific ages. This notion creates unnecessary pressure and can confine individuals to a narrow vision of their possibilities. The reality, however, is that personal growth and reinvention are not restricted by these arbitrary timelines. Change is a continuous process available at every stage of life, and the opportunity to pursue new paths remains open indefinitely. Every moment carries the possibility of a fresh start, of redirecting energy toward untapped potential. The capacity for change is rooted in the fundamental nature of human beings as adaptable and capable of growth. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize and form new neural connections throughout life, underscores the biological basis for transformation. This means that learning new skills, adopting new habits, or shifting perspectives can happen at any age. The mind and body are far more resilient and flexible than commonly assumed. Stories abound of individuals who have embarked on entirely new careers, learned complex disciplines, or transformed their lives after decades of doing something else. These examples highlight that what might have seemed like a fixed identity or a closed door is actually just an invitation to explore new possibilities. The idea of it never being too late also challenges the limiting self narratives people often carry. Many adults find themselves stuck in beliefs shaped by past failures, missed opportunities, or societal expectations. These internal stories can create barriers by convincing individuals that change is too difficult or unrealistic at their current stage of life. Overcoming these limiting beliefs is the first step toward transformation. Recognizing that the past does not define the future empowers people to rewrite their narratives and take ownership of their potential for growth. This shift in mindset opens up a world where previous mistakes become valuable experiences rather than anchors holding one back. Timing is another crucial factor in embracing transformation. Life circumstances such as career demands, family responsibilities, or financial pressures can make change seem daunting. Yet, it is precisely within these constraints that the potential for meaningful transformation becomes most profound. Change does not have to be abrupt or revolutionary. Small, consistent steps toward a new goal can accumulate over time to produce significant results. Patience and perseverance are essential qualities in this journey. By allowing space for gradual growth, individuals can integrate new aspirations into their existing lives without feeling overwhelmed. This approach respects the realities of life while affirming the possibility of becoming what one might have been. The influence of societal and cultural norms often discourages late transformations. Cultural expectations frequently define success by early achievements, creating stigma around starting over or pursuing new dreams later in life. Challenging these norms requires courage and conviction. It means valuing personal fulfillment over external validation and redefining what success means on individual terms. The most inspiring examples of late bloomers or career changers are powerful reminders that passion and purpose are not confined to youth. These stories encourage others to embrace their own journeys without shame or hesitation. Support systems and communities also play an essential role in facilitating transformation. When individuals feel supported and encouraged, they are more likely to take risks and pursue new paths. Mentors, peers and networks provide not only guidance and knowledge, but also the emotional sustenance needed to navigate uncertainty. Cultivating relationships that affirm growth and change can be transformative in itself. These connections validate the belief that reinvention is possible and foster a sense of belonging that counters isolation during times of transition. Technology and access to information further democratize the opportunity for transformation. Today, learning resources, professional development programs, and platforms for sharing experiences are more accessible than ever before. This democratization levels the playing field, enabling people from all walks of life to acquire new skills, explore interests, and build new careers. The availability of online courses, virtual communities, and flexible learning models means that the barriers to starting anew have been lowered substantially. This technological shift empowers individuals to take charge of their growth on their own terms and timelines. The emotional and psychological dimensions of embracing transformation at any stage cannot be overlooked. Change often brings uncertainty and discomfort, which can trigger resistance or fear. Accepting vulnerability and cultivating self-compassion are critical for navigating this emotional landscape. Recognizing that discomfort is part of growth allows individuals to move through fear rather than be paralyzed by it. Self-compassion fosters resilience by encouraging patience and kindness toward oneself during setbacks or slow progress. This inner support system is vital for sustaining motivation and commitment over the long haul. Ultimately, the message that it is never too late to be what you might have been is a call to reclaim agency over one's life. It affirms that identity is not fixed but fluid, shaped continuously by choices and experiences. The past serves as a foundation, not a prison, and the future remains open to those willing to embrace possibility. This perspective invites a radical reimagining of what is achievable at any point in life and encourages a proactive stance toward personal growth. It inspires individuals to move beyond regret or resignation and toward purposeful action aligned with their deepest aspirations. Fear and doubt are among the most formidable barriers that stand between us and the lives we aspire to lead. They manifest as internal voices that question our worth, our capabilities, and even the validity of our dreams. These emotions, though natural, have the power to immobilize us, trapping potential and preventing action. Fear often disguises itself as caution, convincing us that playing it safe is the only viable option. Doubt, on the other hand, seeds uncertainty in our minds, making us question if change is truly possible or if we deserve the success we envision. To become who we might have been, it is imperative to confront and overcome these internal obstacles. Fear thrives on the unknown and the unpredictable nature of change. When contemplating a significant transformation, the mind tends to focus on potential failures and negative outcomes. This fixation on what might go wrong can overshadow the possibilities of success and fulfillment. The fear of rejection, failure, or judgment can discourage even the most passionate individuals from taking the first step toward their goals. Recognizing that fear is a natural response, but not a definitive truth, allows us to reframe it. Instead of allowing fear to dictate decisions, it can be viewed as a signal of growth and an opportunity to build courage. Doubt is closely linked to fear, but operates in a more insidious way. It undermines confidence by feeding insecurities about our abilities and past experiences. Doubt often stems from comparisons with others or from previous failures that linger in the subconscious. When we doubt ourselves, we limit our own possibilities, settling for less than what we are capable of achieving. To counteract doubt, it is essential to cultivate a mindset rooted in self-belief and resilience. Affirming one's worth and focusing on strengths can build a mental framework that supports risk-taking and perseverance. Overcoming fear and doubt begins with awareness and acceptance. Denying or suppressing these feelings often gives them more power. Instead, acknowledging fear and doubt as part of the human experience normalizes these emotions and reduces their ability to control behavior. Mindfulness practices and reflective exercises can help individuals observe their fears and doubts without judgment, creating distance from these feelings. This detachment allows for more objective decision-making and prevents emotional reactivity from sabotaging progress. Another critical strategy in overcoming these barriers is reframing failure. Society often stigmatizes failure, associating it with inadequacy or defeat. This perception amplifies fear and doubt as the risk of failure becomes intolerable. However, viewing failure as a necessary and valuable part of growth transforms its meaning. Failures become experiments and learning experiences rather than endpoints. This shift in perspective diminishes the power of fear and doubt by emphasizing progress and knowledge gained through setbacks. People who embrace failure as a step on the path to mastery are better equipped to take bold actions toward becoming who they might have been. Building a support system is equally vital in managing fear and doubt. Encouragement and validation from mentors, friends, or communities provide external reinforcement that counters internal negative narratives. When surrounded by individuals who believe in one's potential, it becomes easier to challenge self-limiting beliefs. Sharing fears and doubts openly also diminishes their weight, as it breaks the isolation often associated with these feelings. Support networks serve as a reminder that growth is a collective journey and that others have faced similar challenges and prevailed. Practical action plays a pivotal role in overcoming fear and doubt. Taking small, deliberate steps toward a goal generates momentum and builds confidence. Each successful action reinforces the belief that change is possible and that one is capable of navigating uncertainty. This approach reduces the overwhelming nature of transformation by breaking it into manageable parts. Over time, these incremental victories accumulate into significant progress, further weakening fear and doubt's hold. The mindset of embracing vulnerability also supports overcoming these obstacles. Vulnerability involves being honest about one's fears and uncertainties without shame. It is the courage to be imperfect and to risk failure in pursuit of something meaningful. Vulnerability fosters authenticity, which strengthens connections with others and deepens self-understanding. When individuals allow themselves to be vulnerable, they create space for growth that fear and doubt cannot penetrate. Finally, cultivating optimism and hope is a powerful antidote to fear and doubt. Optimism is not blind positivity, but a realistic expectation that effort and perseverance will lead to improvement. Hope provides motivation and resilience, especially during difficult times. Together, they encourage persistence and the willingness to keep moving forward despite challenges. By focusing on the possibilities rather than the limitations, individuals fuel the drive necessary to pursue their true potential. In essence, fear and doubt are not enemies to be defeated once and for all, but emotions to be understood and managed. Their presence signals that we are stepping out of comfort zones and engaging with meaningful change. By acknowledging, reframing, and acting despite these feelings, we transform them from obstacles into catalysts for growth. This transformation is a critical step on the journey to becoming what we might have been, enabling us to break free from paralysis and step boldly into our future. The power of reinvention lies in the human capacity to continually evolve and adapt in response to new experiences, insights, and aspirations. Reinvention is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process of self-discovery and growth that allows individuals to break free from the constraints of past identities and limitations. It demands a mindset that embraces change, values learning, and is open to new possibilities. This continuous learning journey is central to becoming what one might have been, as it fuels transformation by expanding knowledge, skills, and perspectives. At the heart of reinvention is a commitment to lifelong learning, a deliberate choice to remain curious and engaged with the world. Learning is not confined to formal education or early life stages, but is a dynamic process that extends throughout one's entire lifespan. It involves seeking out new information, acquiring new skills, and challenging existing beliefs. This active pursuit of knowledge revitalizes the mind and expands the range of what is possible. People who embrace lifelong learning are more adaptable and better prepared to seize opportunities for change and growth. Reinvention also requires a willingness to question and sometimes dismantle long-held assumptions about oneself and the world. Often, personal growth is hindered by fixed beliefs or identities that no longer serve us. Letting go of these limiting narratives is essential to make space for new ways of being. This process can be uncomfortable, as it may involve confronting uncertainty and the unknown. However, the courage to question and redefine oneself is what leads to meaningful transformation. It allows individuals to align their actions with evolving values and aspirations rather than past constraints. Adaptability is a crucial component of successful reinvention. The ability to adjust to new circumstances, learn from feedback, and pivot when necessary ensures that growth is sustainable and responsive. In a rapidly changing world, those who remain rigid in their ways risk stagnation. Conversely, adaptability fosters resilience by enabling individuals to navigate challenges and setbacks with flexibility and creativity. It encourages experimentation and exploration, which are vital for discovering new paths and uncovering hidden potential. Technology and the digital age have dramatically expanded the avenues for reinvention. Access to vast amounts of information, online courses, and virtual communities means that learning and growth opportunities are more accessible than ever before. This democratization of knowledge empowers individuals to tailor their learning experiences to their interests and goals. It also facilitates connections with mentors, peers, and experts worldwide, creating a rich ecosystem of support and inspiration. Leveraging technology can accelerate reinvention by providing tools and resources that were once out of reach. The process of reinvention is deeply personal and unique to each individual. While external factors like career changes or educational pursuits can mark visible shifts, true reinvention also involves internal transformation. This includes developing new mindsets, emotional intelligence, and self-awareness. Reflective practices such as journaling, meditation, or coaching can support this inner work by helping individuals clarify their values, identify areas for growth, and set purposeful intentions. Self-awareness acts as a compass, guiding reinvention efforts toward authentic and meaningful outcomes. Reinvention often requires taking risks and stepping into unfamiliar territory. This willingness to venture beyond comfort zones is essential for growth because it opens doors to new experiences and opportunities. Risk-taking is not reckless but calculated, informed by reflection and preparation. Embracing uncertainty with confidence leads to discovery and innovation, both personally and professionally. Those who reinvent themselves frequently cite moments of courage and bold decision-making as turning points in their journeys. The role of passion and purpose cannot be overstated in the reinvention process. When learning and change are driven by a clear sense of meaning, motivation is sustained even during challenging times. Purpose provides direction and focus, helping individuals prioritize their efforts and stay committed to their transformation goals. Passion fuels enthusiasm and creativity, making the process of reinvention energizing rather than burdensome. Aligning reinvention with purpose ensures that the change is not only possible but fulfilling. Social and cultural influences shape how individuals approach reinvention. Supportive environments that encourage experimentation, value growth, and celebrate diversity enable people to pursue reinvention with confidence. Conversely, environments that stigmatize change or impose rigid expectations can hinder this process. Building communities that foster a culture of learning and growth provides encouragement and validation. These networks become vital sources of motivation and accountability, helping individuals maintain momentum through the inevitable ups and downs of reinvention. Finally, reinvention is a powerful antidote to complacency and resignation. It reminds us that identity and potential are not static, but continually unfolding. By embracing a mindset of continuous learning and adaptability, individuals reclaim their agency to shape their destinies. Reinvention transforms the narrative from one of limitation and too late to one of possibility and what if. It invites a dynamic engagement with life where growth and change are not only possible but expected. Taking responsibility for one's own destiny is a profound and transformative act that lies at the core of personal empowerment and meaningful change. This principle asserts that individuals are not merely passive recipients of circumstance, but active architects of their lives. It challenges the tendency to attribute failures or lack of progress to external forces such as luck, fate, or other people. Instead, embracing responsibility means recognizing that the choices we make, the actions we take, and the attitudes we adopt fundamentally shape our futures. This mindset is essential for anyone seeking to become what they might have been because it shifts the locus of control inward, empowering individuals to take deliberate steps toward their aspirations. Assuming responsibility begins with honest self-reflection. It requires looking inward to assess where one currently stands in relation to desired goals and acknowledging the role of personal decisions in creating this reality. This level of accountability can be uncomfortable because it involves confronting mistakes, missed opportunities, and behaviors that may have contributed to stagnation. However, it also liberates individuals from victimhood and blame, which are disempowering states. By owning one's past and present circumstances, a person gains the clarity and agency needed to chart a new course. This self-awareness fosters a proactive rather than reactive approach to life. Taking responsibility also means accepting that change requires action. It is not enough to wish or hope for different outcomes. One must commit to concrete behaviors that align with desired transformations. This involves setting clear goals, creating plans, and following through with discipline and persistence. Responsibility demands consistent effort even in the face of setbacks or distractions. It requires prioritizing what matters most and being willing to make sacrifices to support growth. The power of choice becomes evident as every decision, no matter how small, either moves one closer to or further away from becoming who they want to be. Importantly, embracing responsibility does not mean expecting perfection or immediate success. It means recognizing that the path to transformation is a process filled with learning and adjustment. Mistakes are inevitable, but they are reframed as opportunities for growth rather than reasons to abandon progress. This mindset fosters resilience by encouraging individuals to take ownership of their responses to challenges. How one reacts to obstacles, whether with defeat or determination, defines the trajectory of their journey. Responsibility includes owning one's attitude and emotional responses, which significantly influence outcomes. The role of mindset in taking responsibility cannot be overstated. A growth mindset, the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort and learning, is foundational to personal accountability. This contrasts with a fixed mindset, which attributes success to innate talent or external luck. Those with a growth mindset view setbacks as temporary and surmountable, fueling persistence and curiosity. They are more likely to seek feedback, learn from criticism, and continuously improve. Cultivating this mindset enables individuals to embrace responsibility not as a burden, but as a source of empowerment and possibility. Another dimension of responsibility is recognizing the interconnectedness between individual actions and broader contexts. While it is true that external factors such as economic conditions, social structures, and relationships impact one's life, ultimately, the way a person navigates these influences is within their control. Taking responsibility involves strategic thinking about how to leverage resources, build supportive networks, and mitigate challenges. It encourages problem solving and creativity, turning limitations into opportunities for innovation. This proactive stance fosters a sense of agency even in complex or difficult environments. Accountability mechanisms can be powerful tools in sustaining responsibility. Sharing goals and progress with trusted individuals or mentors creates external motivation and support. Accountability partners can offer encouragement, constructive feedback, and help maintain focus. They also provide a reality check, ensuring that intentions translate into actions. Establishing routines, tracking milestones, and celebrating achievements reinforce commitment and build momentum. These structures transform abstract intentions into tangible behaviors, making responsibility a lived experience rather than an abstract ideal. Embracing responsibility also extends to the narrative individuals tell themselves. The stories we construct about who we are and what is possible profoundly affect motivation and behavior. Taking responsibility means crafting empowering narratives that highlight agency, learning, and growth. It involves rejecting victimhood or excuses and instead affirming the capacity to influence one's path. These narratives become self-fulfilling prophecies, shaping how individuals perceive challenges and opportunities. A strong, positive internal story fuels confidence and inspires action. Furthermore, taking responsibility for one's destiny aligns with ethical integrity and authenticity. It encourages living in alignment with one's values and principles, rather than conforming to external pressures or societal expectations. This alignment fosters a sense of purpose and fulfillment, as actions are consistent with inner truth. Authentic responsibility means owning not only successes, but also failures with humility and grace. It builds character and earns respect, reinforcing the positive feedback loop of growth and transformation. Finally, the act of taking responsibility is deeply liberating. It moves individuals from a state of helplessness to empowerment, from passivity to action. This shift transforms how one experiences life, opening doors to creativity, innovation, and self-expression. It creates the foundation upon which all other elements of personal growth rest. By taking responsibility for their destiny, individuals reclaim the power to become what they might have been, breaking free from limitations and stepping into their fullest potential. Persistence is the relentless force that bridges the gap between ambition and achievement, the essential ingredient that transforms fleeting ideas into enduring realities. It is the steady commitment to keep moving forward despite obstacles, setbacks, or moments of doubt. Persistence means refusing to give up, even when progress seems slow or the path is unclear. It embodies resilience, the ability to recover quickly from difficulties, and tenacity, the unwavering determination to pursue goals until they are realized. Those who persist recognize that failure is not the end but a necessary part of the journey toward success. At the core of persistence is a deep sense of purpose that fuels motivation over time. Purpose provides direction and meaning, anchoring individuals during challenging periods when the temptation to quit is strongest. Without a clear reason why, persistence can feel futile. However, when goals are tied to personal values or a vision of a better future, the drive to continue intensifies. This intrinsic motivation empowers individuals to push through discomfort and setbacks because the outcome holds significant importance beyond immediate difficulties. Persistence is also closely linked to patience. Transformation rarely happens overnight. It requires enduring effort and the ability to tolerate uncertainty. Patience allows individuals to maintain focus and composure as they navigate obstacles and delays. It teaches the value of incremental progress, small steps that accumulate into significant change. Those who persist understand that success is a marathon, not a sprint, and they pace themselves accordingly, balancing ambition with sustainable effort. This psychology of persistence reveals that mindset plays a pivotal role in sustaining long-term effort. A growth mindset, believing that abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work, supports persistence by framing challenges as opportunities to learn rather than insurmountable barriers. This perspective encourages experimentation and flexibility as individuals adapt their strategies in response to feedback without abandoning their goals. Persistence thus becomes not blind stubbornness, but a thoughtful, adaptable commitment to improvement. Another critical factor in persistence is the management of emotional responses. Frustration, disappointment, and fear are natural reactions to setbacks, but how these emotions are handled determines whether persistence endures. Emotional regulation techniques such as mindfulness, positive self-talk, and stress management help maintain clarity and focus. Cultivating optimism is also vital. Expecting positive outcomes sustains energy and reinforces belief in eventual success. Persistent individuals learn to manage their emotions constructively, using difficulties as fuel rather than obstacles. Building resilience is a key component of persistence. Resilience involves bouncing back from failures and challenges with renewed vigor. It requires mental toughness and a proactive approach to problem solving. When faced with adversity, resilient individuals analyze what went wrong, extract lessons, and adjust their plans. This cycle of reflection and adaptation strengthens resolve and increases the likelihood of achieving goals. Persistence, therefore, is not merely enduring hardship, but actively growing through it. Social support significantly enhances persistence by providing encouragement, accountability, and perspective. Sharing goals with mentors, peers, or communities creates a network of motivation that buffers against discouragement. Supportive relationships offer reassurance during difficult times and celebrate milestones, reinforcing the value of continued effort. Accountability partners can also help maintain discipline and focus, reminding individuals of their commitment when motivation wanes. Persistence flourishes in environments where encouragement and constructive feedback are abundant. Setting realistic yet challenging goals is crucial for sustaining persistence. Goals that are too easy may fail to inspire sustained effort, while those that are overly ambitious can lead to burnout and discouragement. Effective goal setting involves breaking larger aspirations into manageable, measurable steps that provide a sense of progress and achievement. This approach keeps motivation high by offering regular successes and clear markers of advancement. Persistent individuals monitor their progress and adjust goals as necessary to maintain momentum and avoid stagnation. The habit of persistence can be cultivated through consistent practice and self-discipline. Like any skill, persistence improves with repetition and conscious effort. Developing routines, establishing priorities, and minimizing distractions create a structure that supports ongoing commitment. Self-discipline strengthens the ability to act in alignment with long-term goals rather than short-term desires. Over time, persistence becomes a natural response to challenges rather than a struggle, embedded in one's character and approach to life. Reflecting on stories of great achievements reveals that persistence is often the distinguishing factor between those who succeed and those who give up. Many breakthroughs and innovations were born from repeated failures and relentless pursuit. These examples illustrate that setbacks are not signals to quit, but stepping stones toward mastery. Persistence enables individuals to navigate the unpredictable nature of growth and seize opportunities that emerge through perseverance. Finally, persistence nurtures self-confidence and a sense of agency. Each small victory reinforces belief in one's capabilities and control over one's destiny. This growing confidence creates a positive feedback loop where persistence fuels success, which in turn inspires further persistence. Individuals come to understand that their effort and determination directly impact outcomes, empowering them to take ownership of their transformation. Persistence, therefore, is not just about endurance, but about cultivating the inner strength and mindset necessary to become what one might have been.